Good morning, good morning. Good morning, flip-flop. All right, so I don't see anything immediately. I want to go ahead and check out some of the movers from yesterday, see how they held up. To kind of give me context for today. Also want to go ahead and reset here. New spreadsheet. Yeah. Good day yesterday. Unfortunately, I was not trading as aggressively and holding as long as a normal hot market, but still for a cold market, very, very good day yesterday. It's going to be hard to compete with that. All right, so let's go ahead and look here, see how some of the older movers have been doing. So SMX did curl yesterday. Seems like it's holding pretty well. Good morning, Hope and Flight. Good morning. So you're short IMRN at 222. They're working on a diarrhea drug for soldiers. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Like, I mean, if there's demand for it, you know? Like, this looks like it's at least setting up decently. Huge volume coming in. There was news on it for 6-2. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to really knock that too much. If it's something that works, then it just works, you know? So I'll go ahead and look at that to see how the catalyst looks in a moment. I do want to go ahead and just real quick look over some of the other stocks here. PLRZ seems like it's mostly holding, right? We kind of are testing this level here, but for the most part, it's still competing for upper part of the move. QTTB, we've been kind of trading sideways, slight downtrend. Shorts are probably still under some pressure from this stock, though. AHMA, this one's holding up quite nicely. Volume is dried out, but the fact that it's holding up here, very good. KALA. Okay, this one's ended up giving everything back, so that's one big mover that's given back the move. And SMX still holding strong. So we're 4 out of 5 of the big movers from the last few days are holding up nicely. That's what I like to see. So shorts are going to be afraid to pile on to anything that is moving like 100+% probably. So let me go ahead and shift here, go ahead and look at IMRN, see what this looks like. All right, so 6-7 million on Thinkorswim. We had 234 on Lightspeed. This is probably a reverse split if I had to guess, because there's no way it's actually that high. Level 2 is a little bit crowded. Crazy, crazy volume at 7 o'clock, though, right? 750,000 compared to all this. And now we're just kind of going over. Yeah, also, so the level 2 is a little thick. We're seeing very strange volume coming in here. Looks like it could be distribution. I'm probably going to steer clear of this for now. And yeah, good morning, everybody who's here. Unfortunately, IMRN is the only thing that's really moving as far as news goes. Looking at the leading gainers, we have PMAX. So this one moved yesterday, and it seems like we're just we've been pulling back ever since 4 a.m. Not really super enthusiastic about this one. I mean, I'll keep it on watch just because it is still up significantly. Don't really have much better. KXIN. We did see some volume spike in here at around 705, so that's interesting. It has a massive float. Yeah, I'm getting mixed reads, right? IMRN, it's telling me 7 million on Thinkorswim. It's telling me like 234 million on Lightspeed. Odds are it's probably somewhere between the two. But yeah, we are seeing significant inflow. This might be one of the best opportunities we have, but yeah, no live news on this. This is basically just a spike, a short squeeze, or whatever you would want to call it. I mean, if you look at the daily, this thing is very beaten up, right? This thing was up at just 56 just like a month ago, and now we're down at 3. So what is the flow? 'Cause I bet you it's low. Really? It's that high? Okay, there must have been like massive dilution then, if the float is still this high. I mean, looking at the level 2, it doesn't look very thick right now. A little bit thick. I mean, we're having range on it, right? 380 all the way to 440. Right, it's a 60-cent range in 2 minutes. Yeah, at least in terms of just float, this stock looks much more in play than the other one. I'm a bit concerned about the lack of a catalyst. You could just argue this is a short squeeze play. This looks very beaten up. All right, clear interest around this level at around 414, 415, whatever. So that's a critical area. As far as volume, this is the highest volume we've had since this entire move. So this is the highest volume. Considering we went mostly up, that's good, but I'm a bit concerned that this volume was the highest on this candle. I definitely add this to the watch list, though. Yeah, my issue is that this volume's just a little bit high for this pullback. We did pull back to this support level, right? We're right around it. You could say we're at the lows of it, but we're at this support. If this volume was lighter, I would actually probably be in here. I would have already gotten in, but I'm a bit worried this is going to go down more. Good volume drop on this drop, though. This is a little more bullish. This would be a more bullish entry here. But I'm going to be a little patient. That break of 4 would have been a good entry. Really nice bounce here. Getting in at 4 would have been an excellent entry in hindsight. A little bit afraid to pull the trigger on it though. So yeah, we're really testing this range. Right, we're kind of bouncing around in it. Yeah, if we do reclaim this, the real test is basically 450, 460, or high of day. I'm still a bit worried that this volume was highest here. Yeah, this entire range was just on such light volume. This is definitely moving though. There's opportunity here. Take half size there at 403. Not sure if 4 is going to hold. But this push down seemed like it was on a little bit lower volume. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it there. I'm seeing too much red on the tape. Didn't immediately bounce off of 4 either. You were green yesterday, but definitely watched some big moves go without you. Yeah, the front side of PLRZ, I wasn't a part of it at all. It was just moving too quick. There were micro pullbacks, but I didn't feel comfortable getting in that aggressively. Okay, so one trade, down $1.49. Got in here for this immediate bounce at around 4, but saw it just struggling and a lot of pressure coming down at 4. I was worried we'd see a break and a flush to like 390. Yeah, it looks like 403 might have been even a good buy, but I don't regret getting out of that. There was a lot of pressure at 4. It was a half size too, so I was limiting exposure a good bit there. Yeah, I mean, just with how much it's pressuring for, just trying to hold here just feels dangerous. I mean, here though, half size here, and I might even add. Yeah, I'm actually gonna add here. Yeah, on this break of 4, this was actually quite low volume. This looks a little better. I'm gonna see if it recaptures 4 or not. Really struggling to hit 4 here. Though on this break of 4, it was on lower volume, right? We were testing it on lower volume. Then even on the break, it was lower. Okay, testing 4 here. Broke through 4. We'll see if we actually go anywhere with it. This break of 4 is on light volume, though. Alright, I'm going to take half off there, 403. Still holding the other half. I don't like how this is a surge on lighter volume. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it. I don't like that we saw this surge on low volume. That's messing with me. It's making me feel like this is a fake out. Very interesting sometimes how you can see this extended move on what seems like contradictory volume. I don't regret getting out though. I was seeing a clear signal that, in my opinion, signaled it was going to go down, so I got out of the way. But yeah, when we did this initial flush here to this level, there was very low selling pressure, and then as it tested it multiple times, this volume was lower. Then when we had this break of 4, which should have been a key moment, the volume at the time was really low. That kind of told me that maybe this entire move was a fake out. 13 cents a share is a nice... Yeah, no, I can't complain. That was a pretty good trade, right? 390, well, it was like average 391 and a half. I'll just mark it out. No, it was a good trade. Could have been better, but I saw a signal to get out, and I respected the signal. made money, so I really shouldn't be complaining. It's just frustrating when you know you could have made more and you didn't because you followed your rules. Yeah, that was a much better setup though. It's crazy to me how this volume came in like halfway. Like a lot of this volume came in around here, right? This moved from around 394 all the way to like 412. This entire move was on very light volume. That was really messing with me. Like even now, knowing that this moved on light volume, it makes me not want to buy this breakout. How are we already at 26 viewers? That is crazy. I appreciate all you guys that are here. If you haven't already, please do leave a like on the stream. It helps get me out to more people. I would appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, my conviction's kind of broken because of the way that we got to this level. We did see some bullish signals here. This looked like this entire setup here looked like a trap to me for the reasons I said earlier. So maybe this is justified. It's really hard to tell. And at this point, I don't really feel like I have an edge, so I'm just going to be a spectator for this breakout. I don't think I can participate confidently. Yeah, we're retesting this area around 440. I mean, we got, after 440, we got 460, and I guess technically 450, right? So we're going by basically 10-cent increments here. 440, 50, and 60 are the key levels to watch. So we got a little bit of headwinds to go through. And even this one, right, 430 even. This is a pretty strong resistance. So yeah, some headwinds. If we get back up to 460s, this looks like it has real potential to make new highs. We still have the highest volume of this entire move here, in this period here. So definitely still in play. If we get back up there, I would be interested in re-engaging. How useful was the 15-second chart? I find the 10-second much better. So I actually think I liked... So I'm using the 1 minute right now, right? I tried the 15-second chart, and I don't think Webull had a 10-second. I could be mistaken. But I tried the 15-second. I actually think I like the 15-second a little more than the 1 minute. The problem is I already have two brokers I'm alternating between, right? Lightspeed and Thinkorswim. And with me having the Webull broker, if I want to enter a new ticker in, I got to enter it on Webull, I got to enter it on Thinkorswim, then enter it on Lightspeed. And that's just kind of clunky and inefficient. And I found it more frustrating anytime I was jumping between two different stocks. And because if I had to change a stock at any point, I had to update all three, and that's just kind of annoying. So I did find the 15-second more helpful than the 1 minute, but just given how inefficient it felt to swap, I converted back to just using the Thinkorswim. But yeah, I actually do think that the lower time frames are better. I can kind of picture it in my head too, because like, I know when this candle went down that there was low volume on the push down. We saw big buyers coming in here to push it back up. I saw that and I kind of recognized it. That's why I bought. But when you look at this candle in the aftermath, you don't really see that as much. But if you had like the 10-second or the 15-second, you can kind of see that a bit better. So I totally understand why, just visually, if you can't really picture it in your head, visually, it's just a lot easier to be able to see it and not have to kind of do that extra step yourself. Yeah, so we're kind of holding here, right? This 1 minute high somewhat worked, right? It did pull back, but anyone who bought on this 1 minute break, they're not red yet. Well, I mean, they were red, but they're basically fine right now. We do have 2 minutes till the half hour, so we'll see if we get any new catalysts that come out at the half hour. Mostly staying tight. Nothing really, I mean, nothing moved at 7 as far as news goes. So we're mostly waiting on a move. Right, leading gapper for the day, PMAX for me, up 40%. And I mean, it's kind of on the backside, it looks like. So, looks like it might be a bit slower of a day, at least so far. No, Weeble doesn't have the 10-second, and yes, use Weeble 15-second. Also changed your life when you started using it, so many plays with it. For small cap scalping, a sub 1 minute chart is ideal. Honestly, I completely agree. Like I said, when I used the Weeble chart, it felt better to me. And maybe even just visually, it's more appealing for you watching to see a 15-second chart versus a 1 minute. Because this can feel kind of slow, right? It's not updating as much. I don't know if you noticed this, but Weeble actually updates their charts slightly faster than Thinkorswim does. I don't know what the exact frame rate is, but Weeble definitely, I timed it. Weeble updates its charts slightly more frequently than Thinkorswim does. And I mean, that's something to think about. Use the 42 tick. I've never really messed around with ticks. I tried it once, but it kind of like threw me off because, you know, you would have sudden spurts. And I'm used to kind of like that time pacing. So I felt like the ticks threw me off. But yeah, we're at the half hour here. We'll see if we get anything that pops up. Very nice move. Basically straight through the previous resistance here. Very solid green candle. Yeah, if we see nothing else that comes up on the scans, then if this thing keeps all of the attention, this could have more potential. Thinkorswim is not efficient for scalping, in my opinion. I wish Lightspeed would have charts like Thinkorswim. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Of course Lightspeed has charts. Haven't you seen them? Aren't they so good? No, it's actually so surprising to me that even though Lightspeed is a professional broker, the fact that its charts are abysmally bad it's just so surprising to me, right? Like their execution is top tier, but do they just suck with their charts? Wow, okay, this thing is really moving. Still very high volume. If we don't see anything else and this keeps holding it around this level, I might try to engage, but I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do it with much later size. Not really to try and get any profits, more so just to try and engage with it if it shows that it's holding up. Right, I'll probably go to like 1/4 size. But I mean, if it's just gonna not break out, then we're all Gucci anyway. Still very high volume here. All right. I'll go ahead and drop to 1/4. Yep. Very strange how this entire move has happened, right? You just have this kind of surge of volume out of nowhere. It looks like it's dead. There was buyers that came in here, and then this breakdown was on very low volume, almost like they were trying to trick people. And then we see the volume come in. Very interesting. Yeah, this 464 level seems like it's being a bit stubborn. We're really close to high of day 2, so I mean, this thing could end up running really hard. So we broke out, but didn't resolve super clean. I'm wondering how you got rid of the time and sale on your level 2. By default, there's a small time and sale there. You mean like on the right of this, right? Like on the right side? Yeah, there's somewhere in the settings I went to get rid of that. I don't really remember because that was a while ago. But yeah, there was a setting you can get rid of to remove that. It's a customizable. I mean, there's so many settings here, right? Like I don't remember what I went into to get rid of it, but you can get rid of it. And then I just have it like as a separate detached thing. Makes it a lot less clunky. Plus, I can actually make it a bit longer, right? So I can make it a... So I felt like I wanted it a bit longer. Yeah, so we're holding up here, but we've kind of stalled a little bit. Right, we're kind of ranging by this 10 cents. Nothing on the 7:30 news either. So 7 a.m. had no news. 7:30 had no news. Much colder than yesterday, because yesterday we were having... I mean, at 8 o'clock we had like 5 headlines come out at the same time. So, much slower day. At least so far. We'll see if 8 o'clock brings anything better. Bit of a pullback here. Somewhat big seller on the level too. They got filled and this volume did go up. I'm not sure if this is a fake out to make longs bail, or if this is someone just taking profit and selling here. Not really sure. Yeah, it's just kind of trading in this range right now. Up a solid 46%. Honestly, that's not even that much. Right? I mean, we've been having 150% movers the last few days. So our best mover is a 46% move. That's not actually that impressive. We're seeing this volume drop on this pullback. Even on this initial breakdown, before that order got filled at 450, we were seeing lower volume. That is slightly bullish to me. Yeah, not super exciting or flashy this morning. I mean, just looking at the volume, the selling pressure. I mean, we had this move down here, and someone got filled at 450. They were trying to sell around, like, it looked like around 120 or 12,000 shares. But we are seeing decreasing volume, so I'm actually wondering if this is just a pullback. I have a slight bullish bias, but I'm not super high conviction right now. HTOO. I'll check it out. I don't see it on my scans. Yeah, no, okay. Looks like this came out a couple minutes ago. I'll go ahead and check it out. Yeah, this so this had news at 7:30, but it just didn't get volume initially. Right? It didn't get volume until a minute ago. Okay. Let me return my share size to normal. Let's see. We have a bit of a discrepancy on float. We're seeing 2 million outstanding on Thinkorswim, 12 million on Lightspeed. Seems some kind of thicker orders here around the 480s. I mean, these are contracts, though, so those are usually good catalysts to have. Yeah, pretty big seller there on the level 2, though. I'm expecting this to drop a lot. Might try and snipe a fill at 414. Yeah, so on this initial spike, I was seeing a lot of orders. Oh, hold on, we're getting close here. No. No, 414 feels a little bit aggressive. Drop it to 407. No, what I was trying to say, though, was I saw a lot of sell orders, big orders, at around 487. And halfway through this candle, we saw a 5-digit sell order on the level 2. No, volume's too high. I don't even think buying at 407 is safe. Probably need 390s? Yeah, this volume's too high. It's not safe to buy this dip. Yeah, I need like 390s. Yeah, probably like 386. It's crazy how I've been adjusting this order constantly. Like, my initial order was at like 414 or something. And now I'm just to where I'm not even comfortable with that. I'm too worried about this just rolling over. KXIN continuing to sell off too. This did have a pretty nice bounce, 414 to 439. So this did end up bouncing. I was afraid that because we saw a big order here to sell, and that they were aggressively selling into this, plus the high volume on this move, I was worried we were going to see a complete reversion. That was my fear. Your average is 455. KXIN still selling off. I mean, maybe there was just someone distributing here. I was slightly bullish on this, so I was just wrong. I mean, I was like 60-40. I wasn't super bullish on it. But I was a little bit. Okay, I'll go ahead and jump back to HTOO. This is clearly the stock in play at the moment. I'm really iffy because we had big sellers in this big flush down, right? Both of these candles are the highest volume and they're both red. That's a red flag. But news catalyst is very strong. Float seems to be relatively low. Not super low, though. This is holding up much better than I thought it would. You're seeing all this pressure. I thought this was just going to roll over. Spread still seems to be pretty thin at the moment. We're not seeing it really stack up too much yet. Right, shear size down to 25 for this one. We did have a nice clean breakout here. I just don't know if I trust it after seeing the sellers here. I mean, maybe they got bought up. They could have got bought up. Right, this volume is much higher than the sell orders I was seeing here. I'm in here 1/4 size, testing for a micro pullback. We saw this break and I was seeing big buyers on the bid. This is mostly just me trying to give myself exposure without overcommitting. This is a mix of Lightspeed and Thinkorswim. Execution is on Lightspeed. Charts are Thinkorswim. I mean, it looks like there's buying going through here. There still just might be too much selling then. Good morning, Benjamin. Good morning. Okay. Nice spike there. Can we see a squeeze from the shorts here? Okay, we're retesting 470s. We've tested it a couple times now. Tested it 3 times. Yeah, 470 is really getting tested here. Tested it about 5 times in that minute, but couldn't break it. Okay, we're testing it again. I was hoping we would see a break of that and just a shoot up to 5. Yeah, it seems like whoever was selling here at 475 seems to have held. They've pushed it down after 5 attempts here. And then on this next attempt, they pushed it down quite hard. Yeah, 475 seems like a critical level. We are still in an uptrend, though. I'm gonna cut it. I gave it as much time as I could. I'm getting worried this thing might have too much pressure at 475. If it goes without me, it is what it is. Yeah, it's just frustrating I couldn't break this 475 level. Right, I gave it this test, I gave it a second test, and it looked like there might have been someone trying to hold this down. And I was worried that maybe whoever was trying to sell here was moving the order down. And that was kind of my thinking for getting out of the way. My short on IMRN 222 looking real nice now, but I'm still holding it, trying to hold these longer. Hope HTOO gives us a big squeeze. Need to get some more size on it. I mean, we'll see. I was losing conviction because of how it was struggling to break through here. We're still in an uptrend, so it looks decent, but I feel well. Okay, now I don't regret selling. All right. Well, I mean, it was 1/4 size, so it wouldn't have been that big of a loss anyway, but yeah, I was seeing how I was struggling at this 475. And whenever I was seeing that we were pushed down and we were having someone hold us down here at around 464, I was just really getting worried that there was a big seller trying to distribute. Looks like I was probably correct. Hmm. Yeah, that was like almost a 40-cent flush. Yeah. Yeah, rough. One other thing that I was thinking about, I didn't really mention it, but this stock isn't really up that much, right? This isn't one of those contenders for like 100% movers that we've been seeing. Everything is rolling over? Yeah, I mean, we say everything. We've only had two stocks, right? KXIN. And this one's, I mean, it's on the backside now, but to be fair, it did go back up to highs. I don't think it would be fair to say things are just rolling over, but rather we're just not seeing it many moves, and they're not making crazy big moves, right? But to say that this thing is rolling over, like it's still above the 50% of this move, right? It's still above on the upper half. And same thing with KXIN, right? We're still in the upper half of this entire move. So I wouldn't say, I don't think rolling over is quite the right term. We're not seeing anything, we're not seeing many movers, and we're not seeing impressive movers. I think that would be the better description. But yeah, we got 8 o'clock coming up in 1 minute, and we'll see if we get anything better. Before we get to the top of the hour, if you guys are liking the stream, please do leave a like, helps me out, and I would appreciate it. I actually didn't even realize we're up to 40 people watching now. I was so absorbed on HTOO, I was giving a lot of attention to this. Started at the beginning of the pre-market. It's your feeling. I mean, hey, your feeling's your feeling. I started at 7 a.m., right? So 2.5 hours before market open. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen anything since the beginning of pre-market, your interpretation's probably more valid than mine, because I wasn't here for it. So yeah, I will concede that if you've been here since the beginning of pre-market. I say we got a few more likes. I appreciate you guys leaving the likes. Hawaii time. So we're seeing a bit of a recovery here. It's possible if we don't see any moves for the 8 o'clock that this might get more traction. You could argue maybe because this sell-off happened 4 minutes before the top of the hour, perhaps people were bailing out of fear that something else would come up. I suppose that could be an argument. And we could see stuff. It's kind of weird that it would rally back immediately at 8 a.m. though. You figure it would wait a minute, but maybe not. Yeah, PMAX has just been getting brutalized. I mean, it's gone basically straight down since 4 a.m. Very rough on this one. Yeah, definitely feeling Definitely feeling slower relative to yesterday anyway. Yeah, we are getting some volume. Still don't know if I really trust this. Seeing this big seller at 475 hold up well, then seeing it pressure and then dump here. I'm worried that the seller's still there. Is really my big concern. Right? This stock is only up 23% on the day. It's not a very crazy move. Good morning, Gabino. Good morning, good morning. It's been a slow day today so far. 3 trades. VRAX looks like it has some momentum, but it's a penny stock, so I'm not really interested. But if you guys like pennies, this stock has over 1 million volume. Looks like it might have a news catalyst from earlier. If you're into this, this might be something to watch. No, I mean, I'm happy. Like, I had a really good trade earlier on KXIN. Sold a bit early, a bit frustrated about that, but it was still a pretty decent winner. And I did see a signal to get out, and I followed my signal. So I can't really complain that much. Yeah, HTO looks like it might be just selling off more. Yeah, I mean, this thing's only up 21%. It's... I was thinking maybe if we would hold up and just pull away here, we could start to see that attempt at a 40-50% move. And if we can reach that threshold, we could actually start to see this thing really pull away. Right? Because we did see this massive movement here, so I thought a pull away was totally possible. But now we're just kind of... we saw it slow down, and I'm not really viewing this stock the same way I was earlier. Level 2 is a little bit thicker. Yeah, it's a little bit thicker. It's not terribly thick, but it is a little bit. Not quite ideal. We got MCRP. Got some volume coming in. It's about $1. Do have news. Okay, we have news at 8. $34 million shares, according to Thinkorswim. Yeah, 30 million for Lightspeed. Yeah, I mean, this is borderline $1. Looks like a higher shares outstanding. I'm not interested. Unfortunately. What's up with CAPR being halted? I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see. Halt status updated. Yeah, okay, so they halted because they had to announce news at 8 o'clock. So they halted before 8 o'clock. You can see here they halted around 7:14. They put out news for their phase 3 trial, and I assume they're going to unhalt in a little bit. I mean, it says met its primary and secondary endpoint. Sounds good on paper, but I've seen it so many times where it says that and then it just flushes. But we'll see. I don't really think I would know enough to really assess what people were looking for. But yeah, I would assume this thing unhalts shortly. They just halted to release news. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm just not seeing anything on the scanners, so HTOO is probably the best thing we have in play at the moment. MCRP looks like it's sold off entirely. Yeah, definitely shift down in momentum, right? Yesterday at 8 a.m. we were having 5+ news catalysts coming out. Today must be more conservative. Must be more patient. You like Rub. I'll check out Rub. Okay, maybe I just got baited because I don't see anything for Rub. Oh, Ruby. Ruby. Exclamation point. Ruby. I mean, what are you looking for with it? I mean, just looking at it on the daily, it looks really bad, right? This thing is just gone straight down. To me, this doesn't look really that good. Scary quiet compared. Yeah, it does. It feels like night and day. Right? I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised. I was really anticipating more moves today. Actually, hold on. I want to pay attention to this. This could come into play. Yeah, so much for warming, indeed. I mean, we had 3 days of good momentum, but unfortunately, shorts just kept attacking aggressively, and rightfully so. Yeah, very big selling pressure here. If we hit 370s, I would have been interested, I think. I didn't want to get in here because the volume was still quite high. Still a pretty nasty rug, right? 440s down to 380 in 2 minutes. Or 3 minutes. But yeah, it's very nasty flush. Right? Top gainer isn't even a 30% anymore. Might have to get the jacket on. It's getting so cold. Pretty nice bounce back up to 4, right? 383 to 4. So this is a nice bounce. The volume was way too high. Both these volume bars were quite high, so I didn't really want to engage with this. I wanted to see it pull back a bit more. Didn't quite get it. I mean, that's how it goes, though. I mean, not every day is going to be hot. And when we're in a cold market, right, sparks can sometimes just be sparks. We'll need multiple before we can actually start a fire. And I mean, we have been a little spoiled. We've had some really good days the last few days. Yeah, no, this definitely feels like backside. I got one stock coming up here. All right, this could be something. Let's check it out. UCLS. All right, so looks like a pretty low flow compared to both brokers. No news. Don't like to see that. Thinly traded. Gonna mostly watch level 2. The price action, see if we get anything that suggests buyers or sellers. Yeah, I saw Vax. I did mention it, but it was a penny stock. Surprisingly, it's up almost 100%. That's actually crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was a penny stock. I didn't want to touch it at the time. Problem with this one is just that there's no news behind it. Right, we did have this pop up here, but it's immediately flushed. Yeah, this is definitely one where I look to catch a rug if this thing's gonna rug. Right, probably like 340s. I could still see me trading the front side, but it needs to do something impressive. On the daily, 392 looks like a clear level. And we're right at that right now. So at least on the daily, we're at a resistance level. And then after that, it's basically just like 5, basically. At least in terms of daily resistance. So this has room to run. Like, you can see how much this thing's ranging. 370 to 410. That's actually not that bad. That's like 35 cents. It looks worse on the chart. Yeah, I don't think I chase this. All right, we're seeing like increasing volume. We're kind of like stair-stepping higher. I'm just really worried about how whiplashy this thing is, though. I mean, maybe I could try 1/4 size exposure on it. Okay, 10,000 share buyer at around 406. Feel like I'm chasing or grasping at straws here. This thing's only up 21%. IRBT looks like it's moving. Float's a bit higher on it though, so it's not super ideal. Yeah, SMX is holding strong. It's definitely holding strong. Anyone that's short on SMX has been feeling a lot of pain. This is stair-stepping up very nicely. To this point, it's really just been bouncing here. Looks like we might be breaking though. We did break, but we immediately recaptured. Huge volume came in there. Very interesting candle, how this one played out. So we have no news on this. It's only up 20%, so it's not a super big mover. Worth noting that the level 2 still seems somewhat thin. It's starting to thicken up slightly. QCLS 5-minute RSI over 90. Let me avoid for now. Yeah, it's quite extended still. We've seen it somewhat consolidate here, but it's still definitely on the upper quadrant. I'm on 1/4 size, so if I do trade it, I'm aware it's on the upper half. That's why I'm taking reduced size. if I do trade it. Very bizarre how a flood of volume just comes in here to push it to the high, and then it just rolls over. Very strange. I mean, yeah, it's only up 18%. Like, is this really even what I want to be aggressively trading on the front side? Like, statistically, the last several days, stocks that don't go up at least 30-40% roll over. That's statistically what's been happening. So, because this thing is struggling and it's not up that much, I definitely feel like there is significant risk to trying to trade it here. We got 6 minutes till the top, or not the top, till the half hour. I might just play it cool and wait for the half hour to see if we get anything new. Because, I'll be honest, this feels like it's moving a bit slow. Could be a short squeeze. Yeah, I mean, this has no news. So this is most likely a short squeeze, or an attempted short squeeze. But I mean, it's only up 18% right now. Right, so like this, not super high conviction on this. I am curious though why this candle acted the way it did. This candle is very, very strange. Yeah, HTOO still trading towards the lows. So not super interested in that. I mean, yeah, you look at how KXIN did, right? After topping here, this thing's just been rolling over. Hey, buddy, how are you? I'm doing great. I mean, it's been a slower day today. I'm only up $10, but honestly, I'm green on the day. I took one really nice trade, and I guess I gotta be thankful for that. You know, it's been a more difficult day. We don't have a lot of stocks up. Right, the best stock that's in play is this one, and it's up 15%. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Thank you. CAPR might be interesting when it opens. Looks like some algo buying the previous days. I mean, it was known that news was going to come out for this soon, right? Because they were finishing up the phase 3 trial. It could be algo buying. It could just be that someone's actually just accumulating a position or taking a bet. Kind of hard to say. You're watching from Pakistan. Welcome. Welcome from Pakistan. We're getting people from all over the world lately, it seems. Europe, Pakistan, Canada. Welcome. Do you trade small caps normally, or what do you normally trade? You're from Barbados. I mean, I gotta Google it because I actually don't know where that is. Barbados. Let's see. It looks like an island. Oh, by the Caribbean. Oh yeah, I think you said that, right? Hawaii or... You've been doing trading for 6 months. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a way for people that are in very tense places in the world to be able to do different things and try new things. Because, I mean, everything that's been going on in the Middle East, I'll be honest, it's really difficult for me to wrap my head around everything that's going on. There's so many different themes or different claims that are being made by everybody. I've just kind of said, I know there's a deep history here. War has gone on there for thousands of years. And it's just really, really difficult to read the situation. Barbados is in the Caribbean. Yeah, I had to Google it because I didn't know. It's where the popular Rihanna is from. You're on the big island of Hawaii, opposite coast. We have multiple Hawaii traders here. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, this one's just kind of churning at this point. I'm losing a bit of interest in this stock. Hopefully we get something at 8:30 because yeah, this kind of just doesn't seem like the most ideal setup for me. I'm from the US, Pennsylvania. So basically on the east side of the US. AHMA is moving a little bit. I wouldn't normally pull this up, but this is a stock that was moving a few days ago, so I just wanted to kind of look at it. No news. A little bit of volume. Probably not enough to get involved, but I'll at least throw it on a side chart for now, just to keep an eye on it, because it's showing a tiny bit of life. ARTL, I'll check it out. Thank you. Ooh, very good catch, Gabino. Very good catch. All right. So we do have news at the half hour for it. And it's moving quite aggressively. All right, and we just immediately broke through this previous resistance. Just going straight up here. All right, I'm going to drop to 25. Maybe get involved with this. Okay, saw a seller here just now for around 15,000. Slight red flag. I tried to get in there. That's frustrating. Yep, I tried to get in at 55 and then 62. Still seeing a significant seller here. I'm gonna get in though, because that seller did get bought up. Only 1/4 size though. This was light volume on this breakdown, and this was support on the daily over here. Yeah, I'm like not super high conviction on this. My entry was kind of poor. All right, small winner on that. My first attempt at getting in there was very strong. My second attempt that I actually got filled, whenever I saw that there was buying pressure going through here, that was fine. But seeing it fail should have been the signal to get out. So I don't really like how I played that. How long have I been trading? I've been trading for about 7 years. Not day trading, but just from all of my trading experience, about 7 years. As far as day trading experience goes, I have around 3 years. It's kind of hard to say exactly because if you count degenerate gambling as trading, then maybe longer. But as far as actually trading and trying to make money, probably like 2 or 3 years. The biggest thing I would say is just trade with one share. If you have a free commission broker, just try to get experience. And if you can't get a free commission broker, then just practice in a simulator. Because it's very easy to lose money in the market. And a lot of people can't control themselves sometimes. So I would definitely say start with very low size, build a track record. Like, yeah, you have this spreadsheet. I'll go ahead and log this trade I just took too. So I document all of my trades. So like if I go head here and show open, every single day I've been trading, I've been logging it on spreadsheets like this, just so I have data that I can go over all of my trades. I would definitely recommend documenting everything. All your winners, all your losers. That's the best way to get data to help you understand if you're actually profitable or not. Honestly, like 3. That was not the greatest setup. You have a free swap account on Exness. Okay. Well, I need to check this real quick. Okay, it looks like we might have another stock here. My apologies, but I want to look at this here. LTRN. Let's see. Positive LP phase 1. Results show durable decrease control, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a bunch of word salad. Looks like the shares outstanding is around 11 million. But yeah, my advice, just to wrap that up, my advice would be just trade with only one share if you don't have, if you can trade in a broker without commissions. If your broker has commissions, paper trade, right? Basically look at it, say, where would I buy, where would I sell, and write it down, document it in some way. Because that's how I practiced, and that kind of gave me the conviction to trade with larger size. Why don't you trade Forex? I've tried a whole bunch of different indices. I've tried futures, I've tried options, tried large caps. And I just thought that small caps were the easiest for me to understand. So that's why I kind of focused on this field. At least for day trading. I do swing trade. So I do other forms of trading, but in terms of day trading, the only one that I've really had success with was small caps. Okay, ARTL, looks like we might be pulling back here. I mean, I guess 209 would be the next support, really. If we see this go to 209. Pretty big volume on this flush. Yeah, I mean, like 60-cent flush. That's a pretty impressive flush. It was a little bit tempting to get in here. This volume, while it looks scary, this volume compared to these candles isn't actually that different. Right? It's basically a 2-for-1. But I wanted to see a bit safer of an entry. Yeah, this one, volume's not super high, and we're drying up a little bit. Definitely still in play, but this needs to prove itself. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a quarter size. If we go down to 2, I might add for half size. Big orders here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and add again. So in a 206, half size. See if we get a bit of bounce. Okay, you're gonna go pray. It was nice to meet you. Love you, bro. Hey, you have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Can we try and see 214, 215? This is quite a sell-off, but at the same time, I was watching the level 2, and there was a large seller. Yeah, and they're still there. I gotta get out of the way. I was hoping to see some kind of curl and bounce, but the large sell orders are still there. Gotta get out of the way. Yeah, you shorted at 278, and we're at 205 in 6 minutes. Yeah, this is insane. Insane amounts of flushing here. I tried to buy for this curl, but when I saw a 206, we were struggling, and then I saw that big seller come back. To me, it's just like, I can't stay in the way of that. I don't know how big the seller is. Even now on the level 2, it looks like they're still stacking up. Ridiculous. I might get in here depending on if I see this dry up. Now we're starting to see some biodors come in here. I don't know. I'm still very iffy about it. It's clear somebody was selling a massive amount. I mean, hey, it was a small loser. But I did dodge that flush down another 15 cents, so I should be happy that I got out of the way when I did. Yeah, like a $1.50 loss. That's totally recoverable. All right. You're out of here. Good luck. Yeah, you have a good luck. Beach tune music. Looking like a small day for me. Don't worry. There'll be something I trade within the next 30 minutes that just makes me go red. We'll see. Yeah, this thing, I mean, we're trying to bounce, but it's... The downward pressure is very intense right now. This is just depressing to look at. This chart pattern is just horrendous. We have RR, but this says, oh, 200 million shares outstanding. Okay, yeah, never mind. We're not watching this. Yeah. Yeah, LTRN, I want to just pop back in on that. Yeah, volume's too light. There's just no real attention for this stock. Yeah, this just ended up rolling over. Crazy too to think, right? Because I got out of the way at 203 way over here, and I thought I was selling at a bad price, and then just to see this go down like another 25 cents. Absolute insanity. Right? And it did that in like 5 minutes. Yeah, we're coming up on the end of the session. I kind of just want today to be over, if I'm being honest. Just not a lot of great moves. Feels like a lot of the stocks that moved today gave back everything. I mean, they were holding up nice initially, but then they just ended up just selling off. In terms of the grand scheme of the moves, most of them are still holding up. That moved from earlier today. Right, PMAX is down, but if you look at the intraday, it's actually still up a good bit. Yeah, we'll see if we get anything at the top of the hour. If we don't see anything, I'm gonna dip. Like usual, I'll give it 5 minutes. Throw out a little poll while we're waiting. Jeez, 3 straight votes no. I mean, I'm like a little mixed because there was a little opportunity. It feels very depressing because yesterday was such an explosive day, right? We had a bunch of stocks moving. So even though I feel like today had some decent opportunities, just relative to what we were expecting today, it's a bit of a letdown. And I took 5 trades today. I'm wondering if maybe I overtraded a little bit. I'm thinking 5 trades might be a bit excessive for the opportunity we had today. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that I was green. I was able to be productive. I did make some mistakes. The ARTL trade, the first filled order I had was not a very high quality fill. I probably should have cut the trade. As far as the others, though, I mean, the other trades I took today, I'm pretty happy with. I think it is mostly just the first ARTL trade I'm not very happy with. The trades for you today. I appreciate it, Benjamin. Yeah, it was more difficult. It felt like things weren't as clean. We didn't have like a bunch of big movers. We had some stocks that were like looking like they would be big, right? This one, right? This was setting up to be a like 100, 200% squeeze or something. And it's very clear on this backside of this move that somebody was selling a massive amount. So whether they were loading up here, anticipating that big squeeze, or if there was just somebody who was trying to dilute or cash out, who was already holding, not very clear. But yeah, the only thing that is clear is that we are not having a lot of big gappers today. Right? The biggest gapper I'm seeing right now is KXIN, and it's up 29%. So that's just how it goes. We had a really clean move Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday's just looking like a slower one. But day is not over. We still have the 9 o'clock news. Maybe we'll get something. I'm not really betting on it, though. I guess while we're waiting, quick reminder, I do have a Discord channel. If you check the description of this live stream, you can see it. I'll go ahead and post it in chat here for anyone who's able to see the chat. So if you want to check out the live or the Discord, you can go ahead and check that out. I have some of my spreadsheets, so if you want the spreadsheet, you can download it there. I do post my results periodically there. I'm trying to be more consistent with it. But yeah, that's another resource if you're interested. Seems like this is based out a little bit. I'm not interested. The volume's like dried up. Very clear there was brutal selling pressure here. VS actually looks kind of interesting. So there was news for this at 8:30, but it didn't move. Yeah, we got volume flooding into it now. Level 2's pretty thin. Right, but we're just kind of getting this random spike of volume here. And like we had lighter volume on this move up. Yeah, there was a sell order here, but that got bought up. I'm watching the level 2 here get bought up. My issue is that this took so long to move and the volume is just now coming in. 200 EMA at 204. Got it. Yeah, this does have room to move. All right, there's a buyer here. I'm going to jump in with them. But there's a big seller too. This might be someone just trying to range play it. No, this isn't what I was looking for. I'm just going to get out of the way. $1 loss on that. Yeah, when I saw this flush down and then we saw that 10,000 share buyer, I thought that was bullish, that it might bounce. But then to see that it was immediately range bounding told me that somebody was trying to just capitalize on the volatility. It wasn't an actual buyer. volatility. Okay. Why are we just all of a sudden way up here? Is there some kind of like buyout news or something? Yeah, I see CLN. Yeah, this had news from back at 8. For whatever reason, it's just now getting momentum. All right. We're coming up on the top of the hour. We'll see if we get any news. Yeah, VS was quite a letdown. Yeah, I'm a bit iffy to get on this one, just because we had low volume on this whole climb. The high volume only came in after we had already extended significantly, right? This entire extension, all the way to here, was on low volume. This entire move was on low volume, and only now the volume comes in. It's not really what I want to see. VS, though. Could be interested if we go to 140, maybe. I'll take 139. Yeah, this volume isn't super high for this much of a move. Looks like an extension. See if we can get a retracement back towards 150. Yeah, really crazy how this thing just completely rolled over. Ooh, CLNN really rolled over. That's kind of what I was afraid of, too. Yeesh. Very nasty rug. Yeah, a lot of stocks really just being very disgusting today. I don't know if I have the conviction to add here. This just feels like a hold to me. All right, while this does seem like an extension, it's not a crazy extension. We are somewhat close to the close from yesterday. Would want to see it go down a bit more if I was going to add. Yeah, that CLNN dump, very nasty. I don't see anything else in play, so once this trade gets closed out, I'm probably just going to call it for the day. Right? It's been 6 minutes after 9 and nothing's really come. This thing's really being stubborn, though, with breaking 143. Making me a bit worried that we might just have a hidden seller here. What did this peak at? 44. Yeah. Sucks too, because the volume's really dried up here, right? Well, I mean, we're still getting like 6,000 volume a minute. So it's not fully dry, but it's significantly dried up. Right, there's this clear daily support at around 140, so that is helping a little bit. We finally got 42. A little bit of a surge here. I was going to take 46 there, but it went away. This is the one thing that sucks if you try to catch a knife and then the volume dries up. Right, you're just kind of holding and it just slows down. Fortunately, there's nothing else really to watch at the moment, so I'm not really missing out. But it's still a bit frustrating. Mm. CLNN continuing to run down here. Not sure if it's worth me continuing to stream for you guys to see this. It feels like it's just dried up. Debating if I should just cut the trade here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to end the stream here. I'll still hold this and try and go for 147 or so. But this thing's just kind of going sideways at this point. I don't think it's that interesting to watch. But yeah, I'll go ahead and make the recap later today. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I will be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone.